Well, maybe a couple years ago when it was an actual problem. This is so stupid. This is like the government just now saying, you know what, guys, file sharing is a problem and we're really going to crack down on it. 20 years after Napster. You're so late. 3 years ago, there were 20 taunting calls, right? So they decided they were going to crack down and make it an emphasis. And guess what? It worked, because over the last 2 seasons, there have only been 20 penalties called in those 2 seasons combined. They're talking about, well, you're going to be ejected from these games if you get 2. Nobody's had 2 taunting penalties in over 20 years. This was an unnecessary, authoritarian flex for absolutely no reason. And it's so weird that a league that would basically acknowledge and ask these teams to have choreographed touchdown celebrations would somehow clutch their pearls because you flex in someone's face. Come on.
And just to be clear here, that Napster reference you made, Elle Duncan, that is too old for half of our audience. And the other half of our audience is too old to even get it. Plaschke is like, what are you talking about? Bill, let's bring you in here. Go ahead.
Yes, I was like, what are you talking about, actually? But Elle, the flexing, the bottom line is taunting leads to violent behavior. Baseball believes that they penalize it. Basketball believes that they penalize it. The NFLPA has agreed with this. So the players, far be it from me to say anything, the players themselves want this policed. This is something that could lead to trouble. It's something that could lead to, to more fighting. It's his history proves it. And what happened was in the Super Bowl, it was embarrassing what happened in the Super Bowl. And I think this was the impetus.
So you do think? Okay, I was asking that.
This doesn't mean they're going to call any more taunting plays, but I think it's a smart move to put the players on watch. It's not acceptable. Even the players agree.
Elle, I know you want to get back in there and taunt all over Plaschke's argument, but first, Tim Cowlishaw.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Elle Duncan on this one, and I'm just glad her pearl-clutching reference wasn't about me for once. We're not saying, Bill, to get rid of the taunting penalty. We're just saying, why do they make an announcement? Why do they say this is going to be a point of emphasis this year? As Elle said, less than 1 taunting call per week, not per game, per week last year. And they're acting like it's out of control. None of us like players just going nuts, and they should be penalized. But they're acting like we got to stop this epidemic right now. That's crazy.
And Frank Isola.
You know, it's funny. Elle wins a lot on the show. She taunts a lot. That's why she's okay with it. Tim's from Dallas. That's why he's going to taunt. Here's the thing with the NFL. It's a point of emphasis. So they're telling the players this is something in these, wackadoo preseason games that we're going to play. Watch out. Maybe early in the season. The last thing they want is in a playoff game, especially maybe the Super Bowl like we saw last year, a play like that costs a team a game. So they're warning the players, alerting them, watch yourself because we're watching you. I don't think there's anything
You don't think there's anything wrong? You're all right with this. Elle Duncan, back in.
Again, it's not about the taunting itself. It's about the timing. They weren't doing any What are you talking about? It's like they just wanted to be upset and just wanted to yell, get off my lawn for no reason. And Plaschke, you mentioned the other leagues and they have rules too. That's because flopping in soccer is terrible and awful, and so is flopping in NBA. But fans love taunting.
Frank, I'll let you get the last word in here.
Okay, so fans love it. They should allow everything fans love. Players, it's a danger to players. It's a player's safety issue. That's the bottom line. You don't want players fighting back, trying to hit with their heads, all that. That's why baseball does it. That's why basketball does it. Football, good for them.
Frank, last word.
Yeah, and it was one of the last images of the Super Bowl. So I think Elle is right. It doesn't happen that often. Again, they want to keep it out of some of these bigger games.
Everything that happened in the Super Bowl, that's what you remember. Okay, all right.
You showed it. You're the one who showed us the highlight.
I know. I was providing context because people of your ilk have been talking about it. But I want to be clear here. You walked away from that Super Bowl, Tom Brady winning, and then the Chiefs. We're saying, oh, man, yeah, the deuces from Antoine Winfield Jr. Okay.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.